So right now, Detroit's on pace. The Detroit Lions are on pace to score the most points in the history of the NFL. Who's the quarterback? Jared Goff. And what's remarkable, not that he leads the NFL in completion percentage or passing touchdowns. He's on his 7th offensive coordinator, and he's had one bad season with Jeff Fisher. Every other coach has worked. 2 head coaches, 7 coordinators. And I said this when he came out. He's durable as hell. Guy never gets hurt. I mean, he's the only quarterback to play every regular season game week 1 of 2022 until today. He's the only one. Crazy durable. He got the you-know-what kicked out of him at Cal, stood up, ready to play every next Saturday. 6'4", great mechanics, sees the field, really accurate. Yes, Sean McVay got him to a Super Bowl. But we didn't know if Dan Campbell was a good coach. We didn't know. He was an interim before, and everybody thought he was, he's kind of a rah-rah guy. 7 coordinators. Jared Goff's, folks, get used to hearing this. Jared Goff's going to be a Hall of Famer. Absolutely going to be a Hall of Famer. No question. No question is going to be a Hall of Famer. He plays in rhythm. He plays in structure. He got great genetics. His dad played in the bigs. Jared Goff is going to be a Hall of Famer. You're going to have to, you guys out there, this is not the NBA where style points matter. I mean, Westbrook is a guard that can't shoot. He'll make the Hall of Fame and should, because his stylistically, Russell Westbrook athletically is so memorable and so unique. He should make the Hall of Fame. But he's a guard that doesn't shoot particularly well, which is okay if you're a power forward in the 70s, but you want your guards to shoot well. And that's not a knock on Westbrook. First ballot Hall of Famer. But a lot of you guys get caught up on style. That this is not the NBA. Style doesn't matter. Style matters in basketball. Basketball is a more artistic sport.
Oh, my God.
Basketball, everybody's jump shot. Birds look different than Kobe's, look different than Michael's, look different than Dr. J, look different than Steph Curry. It's a style sport. It matters. You can be a Hall of Famer and never win a playoff game. But in the NFL, you can't. You got to win playoff games. And so I know this. You think this is an outrageous comment. I have seen Goff go back to the game in which Jared Goff, as a Ram, outdueled Patrick Mahomes. And go look at Jared Goff's receivers in that game. There was no Puka, right? So Jared Goff's a really good player. And here's another thing. Have you ever noticed with Jared Goff that his coordinators get head coaching jobs? He's like a stimulus package. Every coordinator he has, everybody's like, man, that's a good coordinator. Yeah, because they have Jared Goff. Right now, he's completing over 75% of his throws. Well, he's got a good O-line. So do the Colts. So do the Denver Broncos. So do the Philadelphia Eagles, and they can't get their offense right. Philadelphia's got the best offensive line in football. They can't pass. They can't run. Jared Goff's completing 75% of his throws.
First off, the Eagles do not have the best O-line in the NFL, so that's not even true. But I'm actually going to focus on the Detroit Lions here, and I'm not going to talk about Russell Westbrook and NBA and power forwards. We're going to talk about Jared Goff. But before we get more into it, Colin literally said that Jared Goff has only been good with Sean McVay and Ben Johnson. I did the clip, and he praised Sean McVay for moving on from Jared Goff, saying, I can't win with this guy. I need Matthew Stafford. Now he's like, Jared Goff wins no matter who he's with, no matter who's around him. Like, well, where did this just come from now? Where did this just come from? I mean, seriously. And Colin's been a believer of Jared Goff. He hasn't been a doubter. He really hasn't been. But like, also now it's just like, he's like, I've been telling you guys all this whole time that Jared Goff's been elite. When it was just like literally last week, I did the clip. I talked to Lions fans. I did the clip where he went on and said, listen, Goff needs an O-line. He needs this. He needs that. And I said, this is so absurd. Why even bring this up? Every quarterback needs that. And then I went on a whole rant about like, yeah, on a spectrum, can like a Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson deal with like a bad O-line maybe a little bit better than say a Jared Goff or something like that? But like every quarterback needs that. Like every quarter, like That's why I was laughing the whole time. And then he's got great genetics. I'm like, oh, okay. And then Russell Wilson. It's like, wait a second. We're talking about genetics. We're talking about, or Russell Westbrook, Russell Westbrook and the NBA and the Hall of Fame. I don't even know where we are right now. Before we get further into it, Detroit Lions fans, you have been showing up. You have been rising to the occasion. You have been awesome watching the full length of these videos and subscribing. You're one of the few fan bases that I'm saying, please subscribe. Please subscribe. Please watch the full length of the video. And you guys are showing out. Absolutely undeniably. We've gotten thousands more Detroit Lions fans part of this channel now. And it is awesome. It is awesome. I am trying so hard to build the best possible community I can, so I can keep posting and making the best possible Detroit Lions content that I can, so we can truly be rooted in this sports world, be truly rooted in a sports talk community that can really just be part of something special, be part of something big. So I want to just keep thanking you. And also keep asking you to please keep doing it. Please keep doing it so we can just keep going. Now back to Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. This game right now is everything to me. I've said this many times. You guys know. I'm a huge Detroit Lions believer, and you guys are going to love. I have my power rankings that'll be posted at 3:34ish. I forget what time it is, and also depending on where the heck you are in the country. But you're going to like what I have to say there. But to me, this is just who I am as a person, as a football fan, as someone who, watches these games and tries to get to the truth as much. I've said this a million times, especially this has been part of the Lions' resume, because they beat up on such bad teams all the time. And so it's just like, that means not as much to me. And so, yeah, they're on pace of their second most points in NFL history. It's just like, yeah, I expect them to be able to do that. They're obviously great enough. And someone like a Dan Campbell gets this team so well prepared that the risk or the likelihood of them playing kind of okay against like the Cleveland Browns, the Carolina Panthers, whatever team you want to use, it's like non-existent. So that's always going to elevate what they can achieve and succeed, and when you look at a whole season, especially analytically and statistically. This game right here against the Kansas City Chiefs, we saw what the Jags did against the Kansas City Chiefs. And at this point then, there would be zero excuse for the Detroit Lions not to just control that game start to finish. Unless we see absolute heroics out of Patrick Mahomes. And even if we do, this offense should still be able to be like, dude, Trevor Lawrence is out there having game-winning drives. Like, we're not even going to need that. Like, that's what this Kansas City Chiefs versus Detroit Lions game has become to me right now. As the season has unfolded, I'm like, the Detroit Lions should be in control of this game start to finish. And that's why I'm so excited to see these coordinators now, because these coordinators have been impressing me, but now they're going up against the best coaching staff that they've gone against ever, right? You're going up against Andy Reid and Spags right now. That is going to be such a fascinating opposing coordinator, chess match. That's what I want to see. This new offensive play caller for the Detroit Lions, I want to see what does he have in store for Spags and this Kansas City Chiefs defense. And this Lions defense has been playing really, really well. What do they have in store for Patrick Mahomes? Or can they make Patrick Mahomes' life miserable? Can they make it more difficult? Like, these are real questions that need to be answered. Real questions. And so if the Detroit Lions can prove their dominance, if they can prove how great they are, shouldn't they be able to beat the Kansas City Chiefs in a way that the Philadelphia Eagles did in the Super Bowl? I'm not saying it has to look exactly like that, but shouldn't it have flavors of that? I mean, the Chiefs are favored. The Chiefs are favored in this game. And people are increasingly saying that this Detroit Lions team is a juggernaut, is the top most complete team in the NFL. And it feels like if you still had the exact same coordinators that you had last year, that the Lions would be favored. But people are kind of like, that Packers game. And, well, they did beat a couple bad teams. And it's like, yeah, it's all true. And it's all okay. I always try to say this to fans, like, you don't have to have all the answers right now. Like, I made a video where I was just like, yeah, I want to see what these coordinators look like against better coaches, better teams. I've seen the Detroit Lions beat up on bad teams. I want to see them play better teams. And I even said, like, the Ravens game in hindsight, the Ravens are just not anywhere close to what I thought the Ravens were going to be. And it's like, and that's okay. It's okay. It's okay to not say right now, I believe the Philadelphia Eagles, the Lions, the Bills, or whoever, the Chiefs, whatever, they're the best teams. They're the top teams. Everyone's chasing them. Like, that's not how I personally operate. It's just not. I like to keep things very fluid and just week to week and just be like, this is my general sense. And then I'm now looking to learn new information. I don't always need to try to predict everything before it happens. I just don't. In fact, I don't want to be able to do that. It could be less fun. So yeah, I'm okay going into a game like this and be like, yeah, there's a question mark. I want to see how they fare against this. Rather than just being like, I know they're going to be great. Not a doubt in my mind. And it's like, that would be just me making stuff up. And again, I know that can be unpopular, and I know fans don't always want to hear it, but it's just, that's how my mind works. I'm very analytical. I try to be as grounded and as accurate as I can. I don't try to predict things just so I could always be like, I told you so, I told you so. Just who I am. And it's how I like to enjoy watching these games, because now I'm not like, I know the Lions are going to dominate here, because then it's like, all right, well, then why am I watching? Now I'm kind of like, yeah, these are some question marks that I want to see answered. Let's go. And when I just see how the Giants play against the Kansas City Chiefs, when I see how the Jags play against the Kansas City Chiefs, and to be clear, I think the Chiefs are a top team. I actually see them as a top team. But the Detroit Lions have the better roster. They're playing higher quality football right now. There is this sense that they didn't skip a beat losing their coordinators. And if that's all true, then they should be a level above the Kansas City Chiefs. They should be able to be like, that's great. You're not us. Oh, you're at home, whatever. We're the Detroit Lions. We don't care about that. So that's what I'm excited to find out. But again, don't underestimate the masterclass of Andy Reid, Spags, and Mahomes. Like, you can't underestimate that. But this is a game that I am just, there's just enough exciting teams right now where it feels like every one of these games, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. I've said this probably like 15 times this season already. Oh my God, I can't wait for this matchup. Can't wait for this matchup. And like I say, if you're a great team and you're going up against another good team, another great team, whatever it may be, if that other team is even remotely compromised, that should be enough. The Kansas City Chiefs are still missing Rashee Rice, their true wide receiver one. That should be enough for the Detroit Lions to be like, oh, okay, great, thanks. Thank you so much. You're missing a true crucial piece. Yep, we're good. That's all we needed. We just need the littlest bit of advantage. And it's the same thing with the Chiefs going up against the Lions. If the Lions were missing, Amon-Ra St. Brown, or if, the Bills were going up against the Chiefs and they're missing Rashee Rice, or if the Eagles are missing A.J. Brown and they're going up against the Lions, like, it should, from my viewpoint, it should be like, that's all we need. The margin, see, 2.5 points, right? The margin is so tiny. It's not even a field goal. Any advantage is like, that's all we needed. That's all we needed. We just needed the littlest bit of an edge. We can lean on you and you will break. So this is the ultimate barometer game for me for the Detroit Lions right now. Because you're going up against the best coach team from my viewpoint. The best coach team, the Kansas City Chiefs. But the Kansas City Chiefs are clearly not who they are, who they've been. And they're clearly not 100% right now. Clearly. And so that should be enough for the Detroit Lions to be like, if we really are just as great as we've been in 23, 24, etc., if we really are not skipping a beat with these new coordinators, then it should be proven against the Kansas City Chiefs. So that's why I can't wait, because there's real there's something real to grasp with this game. It's not just a win. It's not just like there's something real here. And we're deep enough in the season now where you can't be like, well, it's the beginning of the season or this. Like this matters right now. This matters tremendously. I love it. We get to listen to Collinsworth just go, oh man. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Detroit Lions? Jared Goff, Hall of Famer Jared Goff coming in hot. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.